It does feel good to welcome you back right here to talk politics and current affairs. This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. We give you an audiovisual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. Family and friends, it is also very exciting to announce that Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja has successfully launched its online radio platform, and that was yesterday. So this means that our terrestrial broadcast has now gone global. I mean, it's not like we were not global before, but on social media, yeah. But now we have our own app, and it's been launched. So it means that you can listen to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja anytime, anywhere in the world, okay? Whether you're in Nigeria or you're in the diaspora, you can now stay connected with us around the clock. Our online radio is available via the iOS and Android apps. That's our iOS and Android apps. Yeah? So please spread the good news right there. You should also share with your network. Invite everyone to tune in to Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yeah? A radio experience that soars and allows your voice to be heard loudly and clearly. Now, to download, it is www.eaglesfm.com/download. Giving it to you again, www.eaglesfm.com/download. Now to the discourse this morning. But just before that, let me introduce myself. Aptly and swiftly. My name is Uduak Daniel. Now, you and I know that there's been a lot of brouhaha going on, especially when it has to do with the protests. But it wouldn't be just a brouhaha, yeah? It wouldn't be just noise making. It wouldn't be just a demonstration, as quite a number of Nigerians, even you, have said a time without number, the hardship, the pain, the hunger, the suffering, and all that we are battling as a people as well as a nation. Just imagine the U.S. slamming a 14% levy on us. Look at the 0.5%, imports levy, or export levy. Is it import or export now on Nigerians, or on Nigeria as well as the ECOWAS by the countries that broke off from the ECOWAS, talking about Burkina Faso, talking about Mali, and all of that. I mean, they have imposed a certain levy to our goods. So any good coming from Nigeria or the ECOWAS to their country, there is a 0.5%. Okay, I mean, so we're being slammed left, right, and center. Now look at the Lakurawa that's going on. I mean, killing is at 13 vigilantes now. Just last week, we saw a Bello Turji going on a shooting spree. Is it killing 11 farmers now? Just maybe to commemorate whatever he is commemorating. I don't know what it is, but he's been on a watch list for quite some time now, and he is still not being killed. He has not been neutralized, using the words of the military. He has not been found just yet, and it does seem as though the communities are also complicit. Communities where he may be hiding, they're complicit, and they're helping to hiding perfectly well, giving him information and all of that, and he's been evading arrest and neutralization. But yeah, moving away from that, you also recall in Benue State as well. I mean, the killings has been going on in Benue State is really, really appalling. The recent one has been the Plateau killing, where after the killings, of course, observers have said that that's when military are always swinging into action. And just as they say, we saw on the dailies this morning how the military has said they're deploying troops massively to Plateau State. And if you also recall, Mutwang, the governor of Plateau State, had come out only a few days ago to saying that the killings going on in Plateau State is no longer terrorism, it is genocidal, right? It's genocide. And you know, when you hear genocide, it means certain people are being targeted, and there is an all-out massive move to want to extinguish them, remove them from the surface of the earth. And that's what he said. But yeah, all of these culminating to even the Edo State issue that went down. I mean, where alleged hunters, right, were neutralized, unalived, killed in Edo State. And for fear of reprisal, Edo State governor has gone to Kano because these 11 hunters are said to be of Kano descent, and he has gone there to pay condolences as well as pay in cash and in kind, promising huge sums of money to the families of those that lost their lives. Yeah, now, more killings, more deaths been going on, coupled with the fuel issue that's going on right there, where, of course, the Naira for crude deal has been truncated, so to speak, and still on roundtable conversations and all of that, where quite a number of us had gloried and married and shown so much happiness and expectation to seeing how the competitive markets that concerns fuel in the country will indeed begin to yield its gains, right? Where we saw the Dangote refinery reducing the fuel price to about 895, or is it? Yes, 885 or 75 now, and NNPCL had to follow suit. Marketers were groaning and we're not so happy. Ipman has come to speak on its mind and everything, but it seems as the end of the Naira for crude, it has brought about some anguish as it has increased in terms of how much we are paying for PMS in this country, Nigeria. And quite a number of people have shown, their pain, their disreputes, their dismay for this particular trend. But yeah, we're looking at the protest that is rocking Abuja already. It has rocked Abuja, it has rocked Port Harcourt, Osun State, Lagos State, and all of that. Nigeria Police Force has asked organizers to halt a planned nationwide protest in Bauchi, citing concerns over the timing and potential security risks. And the protest, of course, which has been scheduled for yesterday, which was Monday started, coincides with National Police Day, which recognizes the dedication and resilience of police officers. And protests led by the Take It Back movement saw varying degrees of success across Nigeria. In Lagos now, demonstrators marched through the streets, particularly in Ikeja, the state capital, and which without major incidents though. However, though, in Abuja, the movement's leader, Omoyele Sowore, and the human rights lawyer, Deji Adeyanju, faced resistance from police who attempted to disperse the crowd. Yeah? Okay, so Osun State, although there are details of scare, it's reported that protests were successful in that state. River State, protest efforts were short-lived as security operatives deployed tear gas, dispersed the crowd at Isaac Borough Park. Yeah, that's what went down. So the Nigeria Police Force, they have come out to express concerns about the protest timing coinciding with the National Police Day. And quite a number of you are asking the questions, and even those who are also following the political terrain saying, when and where did protesting become a sin or a crime? I mean, if the Constitution indeed avails for protesting, which means, of course, that it is a right of a constitutional right of a people to express their displeasure when things are not going well. But others have also come out to saying that this is just the government trying to shut down dissenting voices and that is not good for democracy. Now, we've got a guest who is on standby via phone call, Comrade Gerald Okachi. He's a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, social analyst, and conflict resolution expert to do justice in this discourse. Good morning and welcome to you, Comrade Gerald Okachi.
Yes, a very good morning to you, UD, right, and our wonderful listeners on Eagle FM, one of the leading radio station in Nigeria.
Appreciate that one, though. Well, I mean, you already know what's going on in terms of the protest. I mean, how it played out in Abuja. Now, a Nigerian citizen has come out as saying that I have seen firsthand the impact of economic hardship and insecurity on families and communities. My friend, a small business owner, has struggled to make ends meet due to rising cost of living and unemployment. Now, the protests are a reflection of the growing frustration and desperation felt by many Nigerians, and that's what a Nigerian is saying, a family member is saying, asking to be anonymous. Would you agree with this, and how do you take this conversation from this testimonial?
In Nigeria, just like every other leading nations, protest is a fundamental right, and it is typically protected under the broader rights to freedom of expression, peaceful assembly, and association. And this right is protected and guaranteed in the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended, specifically Section 39(1), where it talks about right to freedom of expression and the press. Section 40, right to peaceful assembly and association. Section 38 talks about freedom of thoughts, conscience, and religion. These provisions allow individuals and groups to gather and express their opinion, including through peaceful protests. However, protests must be peaceful and lawful. The government may place restrictions in the interest of public safety, order, health, or morality, but these restrictions must be reasonable and proportionate. In Nigeria, the right to peaceful protest as guaranteed in that Section 40, which allows citizens to assemble freely and associate with others for the protection of their interests. Additionally, in that Section 39, which ensures the right to freedom of expression, encompassing the freedom of impact, freedom to hold opinions, freedom to receive and impart ideas without interference. But then, in recent times, we have seen Nigerian police, relying on a public order act to make certain demands, that for a successful election to take place, that Nigerians need to get permission. This historically have referenced the Public Order Act to require police permits for public assemblies. However, in 2007, in the case between then AMPP, that is All Nigerian People's Party or something like that, against the Inspector General of Police, appeal courts made it very clear that permit is inconsistent with the Constitution. As such, no citizen requires any form of permit for him to carry out any peaceful protest. That being said, we have seen restrictions and limitations recently, which the Constitution does not allow, and even one of the highest courts on the land have also said. If you recall, in the recent times, in 2020, we had Nigerians entered the streets with regards to end SARS protests. Many people were killed. Many were permanently injured or disfigured. Some legs were amputated, some hands were amputated, some were on wheelchairs, some still carry police bullets in their leg as we talk today. In recent time, if you recall last year, the organized labor around February last year threatened to embark, or not threatened, they released notices that they will be going on the street to express their dissatisfaction with regards to policies that they believe is anti-people, that cause untold hardship and is making the standard of living in our country, Nigeria, very hard. We saw how both the Nigerian police and other law enforcement agencies begin to issue threats, prompting, Nigerian police and other security agencies started issuing threats to organized labor, prompting Amnesty International and some other organizations, including ours, the one I led, Initiative Against Human Rights Abuse and Torture, and the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights, issuing statements, calling for restraint from the side of the government, because it's only in Nigeria today that whenever you want to carry out protest that is against the authorities, you begin to hear intelligence report that the protest may be hijacked. You begin to hear certain kind of talks. You begin to hear that they must get a permit and so on and so forth. But if you are doing contrary protest, say you are doing pro-government protest, you never hear any intelligence report that the protest will be hijacked or things like that. Having said that, that same last year, Nigerians went on the streets around August. They themed that protest, End Bad Governance. Many Nigerians were killed. Many were arrested. Many were charged to court for treason, some treasonable felony, which all carries capital punishment.
Right.
Which is not inconsistent with our struggle. Then, during that period, some of our comrades from Abuja, were arrested. They dropped up charges against them, claiming that they destroy a lot of government facilities. You understand? At the end of the day, most of the protesters they arrested were arraigned in court. It became very, very embarrassing to the Nigerian government that some of the protesters were underage who are supposed to be in the juvenile courts. And they were very malnourished. Some were half naked, and so on and so forth. They were fainting. And as funny, of course, some of the propaganda we know the government with, they started claiming that those people that were fainting in court were acting drama. But you see somebody that is close to Washoko, with his ribs counted, you are saying that it's acting drama, collapsing because they were not fed, there was no water.
All right.
Which made the judge in charge to excuse himself on that particular day. At the end of the day, some of these protesters were released, charges dropped. But then they still retain Abuja 11, which since that last year to date, we have had over 6 adjourned dates. Wherein you go to court, you will not see the judge. They will either tell the judge is on vacation or they will give you one excuse or the other in order to keep those guys perpetually there, and their items and properties were seized along together. And if you recall in that protest, as part of the propaganda, they accuse almost everybody. All the human rights organizations, they accuse organized labor, wherein they arrested the NLC president on his way to go for international conference with regards to labor conference. Wherein the one Oyibo was also accused of supporting terrorism and so on and so forth. There is a whole manner of things just to make it look bad. Now, on this current protest they started yesterday,
yes,
they call it April 7 protest, and only God knows how long it will take.
Well, some people say it's a take it. Some people say it's a take it back process, a protest, and that's
take it back movement. Take it back movement led by Samuel Juwon.
Right.
He's the national coordinator.
And let's talk about the demands, because that's where I really was hoping that you were going to look into the demands that this take it back is actually looking into. Is what is bringing certain thoughts to the minds of Nigerians. What exactly are we taking back? What exactly is this protest about? What is it looking into? How is it bettering the lives of Nigerians? I mean, one of such would be repealing the emergency rule in River State. Another is about the Cybercrimes Act. And I am trying to make sense of it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Would you like to dwell on these two and help us maybe understand it better?
When you hear take it back, it depends on the organizers or leaders of Take It Back movements can give better understanding of what they mean by Take It Back. But I think Take It Back movement, with my recent relationship with them, is targeted or aims at, restoring Nigeria to where it was when it was a leading nation in Africa. You understand? Restoring rule of law and order in Nigeria. Take, for example, in Nigeria today, the authorities choose court judgment to obey and one not to obey. In Nigeria today, person like leader of indigenous people of Biafra, that is Mazen Nandekanu, have gotten bail from the highest court in the land, Supreme Court, and is still being detained, and charges were always being produced against him, whereas the highest court in the land has freed him, making it clear that the redemption or the way he was arrested is illegal and not known to law. In Nigeria today, we have obtained judgment against police for killing one of our comrades who is a journalist covering shirt protests in Abuja here. They have not obeyed. But then, restoring order, we have seen what happened in River State. The conditions laid down for declaring state of emergency, which is what we are seeing today. It appears like Nigerian government, as of today, have due respect to mineral resources or natural resources more than the human beings they have. The reason our president gave for declaring state of emergency is that there was a pipeline burst or explosion in River State. Whereas as of today, only in Jos Plateau, in the past 5 years, a particular community called Bokus or thereabouts have had a loss of over 3,000 persons. Communities, fact. That is one community in Plateau. If you now put it together, other communities where they are having issues, you will see the numbers counting as if they are fighting civil war. Even areas where they are not fighting war have not recorded such kind of losses. That is on human side, not even property side. You come to Nigeria today, we have seen the abuse of orders. Recently, we saw Nigerian Army, Navy, abusing officials of Ikeja Discos for disconnecting their lights. This is what I think Take It Back movements are pushing, that we should restore this country where we follow things in rule of law, where we follow things orderly, where we respect our constitution, not a situation whereby you declare state of emergency, where it's supposed to be a cast vote at the National Assembly, they will use voice vote, where anybody can wake up at any time and do whatever he likes. Look at what they are doing with regards to Natasha. The same thing, she was accused of misconduct. We are recorded that Fabio, who is the Senate president today, faced it. So whenever you hear take it back, think what they mean in that take it back, I presume, is restoring Nigeria to where it was a leading nation, and not what we have today, where anything goes. Where anybody, somebody that did not participate in primaries, can end up becoming a senator and becoming a principal officer, even becoming a Senate president. Where if you raise issues that are not that is criminal in nature, you can be investigated. Take for example, during the next Senate, when they were concluding that particular Senate, National Assembly, we hear Senator Bukatua on video telling everybody how he encroached on the wife to have influence in passing judgments to his friends in cases where the wife, who is, I think, appeal court president then. Things like this is people that we are supposed to, use as example. It's just that we are not a communist society. If we were to be in China, where these kind of things are happening, we know what will happen to those people, and it will serve as deterrent to others. So in Nigeria today, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Even as you're in that studio, I pray that they don't remember Eagle FM. They can come there with different kinds of strategy. You will see NBC slashing you guys with fine because of interviews you are granting, or persons that are granting the interview, or comments they presume that we are made that are not airworthy, or public for public consumption. They will just call something to suppress your voice so that if you are engaging, you don't have to engage.
Okay, Comrade
we
Gerald.
have suppression of voices and things. So whenever you hear taking back movement, I believe these are some of the things they are pushing to see an end to it.
All right, Comrade.
And to see improved governance.
Well, protesters in Abuja, Lagos, Rivers State defied police warnings and took to the streets despite the police concerns about timing, which, according to the police, it says it coincided with a National Police Day. Now, protest organized by the Take It Back movement was aimed at issues such as authoritarianism, human rights abuse, and the misuse of Cybercrime Act. And now, if we are to look into some of these, protesters are calling for the repeal of this act, the repeal of the Cybercrime Act. They are citing its restrictive nature on freedom of speech. They believe it enables the government to silence critics and stifle dissenting voices. And when it comes to the protection of human rights now, the movement is advocating for the protection of human rights, particularly the rights to free speech and expression. They argue that government's actions are eroding these fundamental rights. And finally, of course, when it comes to addressing authoritarianism, now the protesters are also demanding an end to what they perceive as authoritarian tendencies in President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. And they are also believing that the government is becoming increasingly oppressive and intolerant of criticisms. But we have also seen this government in many ways engage in roundtable conversations, trying to quell certain issues that bothers the economy. Look at the conversation that went down with the Naira for crude, deal between, is it the government, I would put it that way, as well as, those refineries, the Dangote refinery and all of that. Yeah. That was a deal that, many Nigerians applauded. I mean, even though it was a deal that was just for 6 months, but we saw the good intention in that deal. Now, we've also seen, they're still in talks as to whether to extend it or not. But now we've also seen in other ways that this administration is trying to engage. And the president, in his own words, had also come out to saying that, look, give me time, I will fix things, I'll make things right, and all of that. Are you saying that we should leave? Are you saying that the protesters' demands are indeed in line? That's one. Secondly, are we also saying or turning a blind eye to the need for a law in the regard of cybercrime in the country? Is there no necessity for such laws in the country? Right? So these are my concerns.
Cybercrime is a very wonderful piece of law, or that is enacted with regards to controlling or sanctioning social media activities. But then, when it's used wrongly, these are some of the things the protest.
How is it used wrongly? I mean, are there incidences where it's been used wrongly?
In the last 1 year, any critique of the government has been used. This particular Cybercrime Act has been used as a tool to charge the person or press the person. You recall that even the lawyer in Lagos that wrote about judiciary and the corruption, it was used against him. The lady that in the last protest, in Lagos, that expressed her rights of expression, we are used, this particular Cybercrime Act, we are used to arrest the girl and transport her to Abuja and detain her for this before she was charged to court and court granted her bail. So there are numerous examples. If I can begin to give you some of them, that cybercrime, they normally hide under it to, try to suppress voices. It was still in the same cybercrime that they used for even this NLC president, but because of the way the organized labor mobilized themselves to force headquarters, it become an interactive thing instead of asking him to write statements and
Right.
begin to do some things. But that is on that side. Then the issue of Naira to crude, which you raised, is very, very unfortunate that, yes, we tried a thing that lasted for 6 months and we saw the impact. And at the end of the day, was frustrated at because those handling their affairs in that area are not sincere. They are not working for the people. They are working for their pockets. Take, for example, the beauty of Naira to crude. We saw how a private-owned refinery, private-owned company like a Dangote refinery, are the one dictating price, reducing price, whereas government-owned refinery that is receiving crude oil that is meant to serve our energy needs are struggling to meet up with them. That tells you what is happening. You understand? And I'm happy when I heard the news last week that the GMD of NNPC then, Mela Kiare, has been relieved of his job. These are some of the things that we advocated for. Immediately they removed Godwin Emefiele as the CBN governor. We said that this guy should be removed as well. And he was kept there, where he made a lot of promises. More than 6 times he had promised Port Harcourt refinery will work. It did not work. As of today, they say it's working. But we need to see it reflect in the prices of energy sector, both diesel, petrol, and other products they produce from crude oil.
Okay.
So, calling for amendment of that Cybercrime Act is very fundamental to promotion and protection of fundamental rights of citizens, especially as enshrined in our Constitution, section 38, 39, and 40.
Right.
It's very, very fundamental. So that authorities will not be hiding under Cybercrime Act to, use it to suppress voices, and throw up charges against citizens. If you look at Abuja 11 that is being tried before Justice Emeka Nwite, of course, I think it was 5, Federal High Court or thereabouts. Some of the charges they raised there also emanated from the Cybercrime Act. Does it mean that we don't have any other laws that we can use to charge offenders if presumed that they are offenders?
All right. Let's just.
You will coin something that happened in Kano.
Yeah.
Maybe traffic lights that were vandalized during protests, and bad governance protests, or people that have flown flags they believe to be Russian flag. You coin it together with those that were in Abuja. It doesn't make sense.
All right, comrade.
It becomes obvious that it's intentionally to bring these guys down and keep them perpetually quiet.
Okay.
They are forced that to stay with the Nigerian police to date. Is the force a part of the thing that is going to tender in court? No. Some of them, their accounts have been frozen. Many of them, they ransack their house. They carry all their properties to that Abatua, formerly known as South Headquarters. So things like this is what begets, people to react. And I fear, may God not allow us to get to the point where radicalization of the movement will be the order of the day. Just recently, there were reports that authorities in Zamfara State were expressing frustration with regards to their fight against banditry. That they will arrest and thinking that they will prosecute before they will be released. These are unconfirmed reports that are coming from Zamfara. And we have similar thing in Akwa Ibom when former governor of Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Emmanuel Odong, was holding swear. He was captured on video where he lamented that he will make arrests with regards to criminals carrying AK-47 in the bush, hand over to police. Within some days, they will be released. If things like this continue to happen, what happened in Uromi, which we condemn, which is jungle justice, maybe the order of the day, when people begin to lose faith in the authorities, the next you will see people trying to resolve things on their own. If people start going out to express their opinions with regards to protests, and you are suppressing them with tear gassing and arresting, it may get to a point where they will start resisting it.
Were you in the Abuja? Were you in the Abuja protest? Were you in the Abuja protest?
This Abuja protest, they arrested 3 persons, namely Gabriel Smart Victor, Innocent Gabriel, and their mother. They injured a lot of persons that if our listeners can go to Eagle FM, I will send you some of the injured victims of yesterday protests. Deeply cut. Some of them were perpetrated by the civil defense. In FCT here,
all right,
this here who's supposed to be the capital of the nation, who are supposed to be our eye to the world, we cannot use human face or civil approach to engage these protesters. What else are we talking about the states?
All right, comrade, for one time.
What the authorities can do whenever these issues are coming up is to come up with superior arguments on what they are doing, on what they made their ground, and where they are, the achievement they have made with regards to effort they are making to put things in order, and not suppression.
All right, comrade.
If they are bringing demands, you understand? They have to take very sound persons. Of course, President Tinubu is the product of protest. Adato Somolu is the product of protest. Wike also participated in protest. Even as a sitting governor in Rivers State, he protested against the Nigerian police force at the Port Harcourt command.
All right, comrade.
So what they can do is bring superior arguments to whatever they are presenting. That even the public will see it as, okay, yes, I think they are doing something. Give them chance, give them time. Not suppression.
All right, comrade.
Suppression have not helped anybody.
Well, appreciate your time with us. Time is not allowing for us, to get, deeper. But I mean, you've made it clear that protesting, of course, is a constitutional right, and the protesters probably have a cause. But others are looking at, matters of concern: high fuel prices, high electricity tariff, high cost of living, unemployment. That should have been what should have been on the placards, rather than the authoritarianism, the state of emergency, and all these other things that they are really looking into. But then again, we'll just take out this few time, to get to hear from the family members. But thank you, though, far too kind, because I do not think we'll be able to get back with you. But if you have maybe one last line that you just want to, add up as a conclusion to your thoughts, what would it be?
I think what I can say with regards to the protests we are seeing today is for government to see how they can bring the organizers,
Okay.
Bring them to the table. Whatever their demands are, let them know, okay, we have seen your demands. We can set up committee where they will be engaged. These demands we are talking about, or you lead it, let us see.
Okay. All right. Time.
Lead the process you are advocating for. You understand? Aside pushing for them to lead the process, bring us superior argument whenever you are engaging these persons, with regard to some of the things they are presenting.
Okay.
Open up a channel where Nigerians who have different ideas on how this government can run things better, where you present what you are doing and you open it up that Nigerians can make suggestions. If they suggest, you can tell them, okay, this one you have suggested, we have tried it before we started this one. Look at what it leads to. By that one is engaging Nigerians on what we are doing.
Okay, comrade, time was not allowing for us to engage more, but thank you far too kind. You've stated, comprehensive wisdom already. All right, let's just take out some time, get to hear from family members, and then call it a close. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Well, Comrade Gerald right there, all catchy, giving us 2 cents. Well, let's take some of your messages now. Abaz reporting from Dusay is saying, all protocols observed, duly observed, Abaz. My concerns is this demand of the demands of the protesters. Let them focus on the issues and less of the complaints. Their demands, as at today, is not going to put food on the table of a common man. It's wrong for protesters to be protesting on issues that they can't get immediate response or right to their lawmakers to challenge such obnoxious laws. Major demands of Nigeria now is security in the land, high fuel price, high electricity tariff, high cost of living, unemployment. If these people are serious, these ought to be the demands that could help the Nigerian people suffering. Example, how does the state of emergency in Rivers put food on the table of a common man or secure their lives? Let the protesters be more specific with their demands. Abaz from Dutse. Seeing this message right now from Samson from the FHA. Lube says, hopefully you are all doing fine. Okay, sending regards right there, Samson. Okay, says, tear gassing and beating up some protesters both at Lagos and Port Harcourt signifies that Lagos policemen seem to be properly and professionally trained in handling peaceful protest. May they never relent in such act of professionalism and respect to human rights and freedom. God will certainly reward your efforts. Nevertheless, The negative reactions from their counterparts in some other states, like Abuja, need to be investigated or reorganized. Have a nice day, he says. You too, my brother. Okay, let's see. What other message? Okay, I see this one now. Samuel from Kuje is saying, a wonderful morning to you too, my brother. And it says, with all the rights that the citizens have to express themselves, though protest from the Constitution, through protest from the Constitution and speaking out when things are going wrong, the present-day leaders who spearhead protest in the time past are now intimidating and harassing protesters. Sometimes they sponsor people to counter the protest. So what they want is for us to just sit down and watch them toying with our collective rights. I am not in support of any kind of violence protest, but let things be done in a proper way. Our present-day leaders are bullying and intimidating us masses, and it is not right at all. They should remember that nothing lasts forever, he says. Right, you too, thank you, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day out there. Right, I wish we could take more right now. Maybe we can scribble in one more call. 0907-353-0044 is that number. And just to hear from one family member, and we might just call it a close, right? Taking that call already. Hello, good morning. Good morning to you, Elder Nodger.
My name. I'm calling from Cuba.
Awesome. Elder Nodger, in maybe 30 seconds, please, let me have your thoughts.
In many countries, corrupt countries, now youth they change, but youth in Nigeria, they are not serious.
Okay.
Where they arrest them for bad government protest, they only listen to children. Some of them, they prison. The youth in Nigeria do not say anything. They not protest. Police, somebody must go before the other people will enjoy. Even freedom fighter, those people will start a fight. Maybe they can't see the day before they get the wisdom. Youth in Nigeria are not serious. That's why they continue molesting us.
All right, Elder. Appreciate
Thank
time
you.
is not
God
allowing.
bless you.
Appreciate that
Thank
one.
you, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Turk and Biundu, we see your message, but we can't take it right now. And yes, comrade, you also sent a message right there talking about Gabriel Smart Victor, innocent Gabriel, and their mother detained and assaulted by the civil defense in Abuja, is what you say. Well, we see that. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to you, each and every one of us. I believe that this conversation is not ending here, as we will be having the conversation in the coming days. This is a serious issue that contains national unity as well as a national polity as well, right? My name is Udwak Daniel. Stand by for the next programming.